The path of mantra meditation is sometimes described as true activism because if I really want to make a difference, I need to clean up at a deep level first. About 500 years ago, there was a great saint and divine personality known as Sri Chaitanya, who was living in the area of India known as West Bengal. At that time in India, religion and even spirituality had become something extremely restricted and repressed. The opportunity to communicate with divinity and the right to engage in ritual worship was confined to only the priestly caste. For the everyday person, they had to approach the priests as an intermediary to the divine. Sri Chaitanya was a respected teacher, prominent scholar and intellectual of the time, which in that era was almost like the Harvard or Oxford University. At that time, there was so much scholarly activity concentrated in one place. Sri Chaitanya went on a trip after his father passed away and had a spiritual awakening. And when he returned, people said he had gone mad. He wasn't acting as he used to by any description. He was crying out, calling the names of God, tears coming down his cheeks, and moving through towns and villages sharing a revolutionary message. Now, many times the message of a revolution is conveyed through music. Sometimes we're not as aware of just how this is as we might be if it was a few hundred years ago. The French national anthem was a song of the revolution, but now they sing it at football matches. The common party song, La Cucaracha, was also a song in the Mexican Revolution. These songs carry a message through the medium of music. Music is sometimes described as something like a capsule that can deliver a medicine, something that the body needs on a deep level. So within this capsule of music, a profound message can be delivered. Sri Chaitanya's message or mantra that he shared was not one of activism based on the body or the world around us in a material everyday sense, but it was a wake-up call to the spiritual self. He would come through the village in an early hour of the morning, perhaps before dawn. He would sometimes wear little bells on his ankles so that when he would walk, people would hear him coming, and even if they were sleeping in bed, they would hear these little bells sounding in the distance. They would hear a deep voice, which was said to be like the beautiful rumbling of thunder from a storm just off on the horizon. And he would be calling out, singing in this way, Jeev jago, Gaura Chandra bole. Jago means wake up. Wake up, sleeping soul, not only to wake up from your bed, but awaken to understanding your true nature as being eternal, joyful, full of wisdom, and recognizing your true identity, a spark of divinity, a servant of the Supreme. He said that you don't need to change anything about your life to understand this. That in itself was a revolutionary message. You don't have to change the color of your clothing or go to a holy place. You don't have to take on a special diet. He said, just take this mantra, just take this sound vibration, bring it into your heart, bring it into your life. It's completely free. I'm just giving it to you. Just sing these names. Feel that awakening of the soul taking place and be happy. Now, of course, when he would pass through in that way, people would come out of their houses and would feel so much joy and delight in seeing him. They'd want to follow along and they'd say, please take me with you. And he would say, no, stay where you are. You can stay where you are. Just continue to sing these names with great joy and happiness. Sri Chaitanya left behind very few written teachings, but the few that he did are these 8 verses known as Shikshastakam, one of which is the verse that we looked at earlier. The second one is another very beautiful one, and I'd love to share it with you, as I did before, with the Sanskrit words first, and then I'll share the English meaning. If you like, you can also close your eyes again, just listen to that sound vibration, see how it makes you feel. नाम नामकारी बहुधा निज सर्वशक्ति तत्रार्पिता नियमिता स्मरणेन काला एतादृशी तव कृपा भगवन् ममापि दुर्दैवमीदृशमिहा जनिनानुरागा. Addressing the divine, he says, "You have hundreds and millions of names, as innumerable as the waves in the ocean, and each of those names are invested with your full love, your full presence and power." What he's explaining here is a foundational teaching of Bhakti Yoga and how I most relate to and experience healing sound. That the divine is a person who has a name. God is more of a title, although a nice one, but that there are innumerable names describing unlimited qualities. Each of those names is invested fully with the presence and power of the Supreme. It's hard to relate to because I don't experience that in my perception of reality. The name of something, table, chair, or someone, is not the same as the thing. If I say chair, it doesn't mean I have something to sit on. It just brings the image or remembrance of it to mind. But he's saying your name isn't just a remembrance of you, it is you. He goes on to say, but I'm such a fool that even though I know that, I have no desire to recite those names. It's really relatable for me. Why don't I do the things that I know are going to help me? Why don't I go to bed early? Why don't I exercise? Why don't I eat better? Somehow I follow my mind, I follow my desires, even when I know this thing is going to be really, really supportive for me to feel happy, healthy, and balanced. So he's offering this simultaneous lamentation as well as praise for the power of these divine names. It reminds me of a story that speaks to the unlimited power of all of these brilliant divine names. Imagine that you're traveling through a desert and you're feeling extremely thirsty. You arrive at a village and you ask people desperately, "Where's the well? Where's the water?" And they welcome you very graciously. They say, yes, 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 we have the best water of all. It's the sweetest. So very happily you go there and have a drink. And you have to agree with them. This water is so amazing and it really quenches your thirst. So you're fully satisfied and you travel on alone. Eventually you come to another village. Maybe you've gotten quite thirsty again. And to your surprise, the people welcome you and they say, actually, our water is the best water in all of this region. And you taste it and it seems like they're actually right. Now, this could happen again, place after place. And in a way, they would all be right because each well is being fed by the same underground river. In that way, there are unlimited names for the divine that are said to be the best. Every religion and spiritual tradition of this world has different names to describe that Supreme. And each might feel these are the best names. And yet Sri Chaitanya explains here that each one of them are invested with that same power and potency. So it's true. Each one of them are the best. But naturally, whatever's in our village well will feel that this one is actually the best. So for myself, the water from my village well is this Maha Mantra that was also beloved of Sri Chaitanya.